Hey guys and girls, you ever fishing tidal water? Tidal water. That will be a river or stream or a bay where the water comes in from the ocean and it mixes with fresh water. It causes tidal water. Bass live there. And we've done that a lot. It was really, really difficult for me to figure out how to catch them on tidal water. What tide is best and why? Tough question. If you fish tidal water, you probably know the answer. Wow! That's a beauty. Good morning, guys and girls. October 27, John 20:29. John 20:29. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Jesus told him, you believe because you see me. You believe me because you see me. Those who believe without seeing me will be truly blessed. Those, you and me. That's right. Those are you and me. We're the ones that have not seen Jesus Christ. But we will see. One of these days we'll close our eyes here on earth. Think about that. We'll close our eyes here on earth for the very last time. When we open them, we'll be looking into the eyes of Jesus. Into the eyes of Jesus. I get choked up thinking about that. One of the most natural pieces of cover that fishermen sometimes pass by is a tree that has fallen on a really steep bank. Not a gentle sloping bank, but a real steep bank. A tree that's falling down into the water. The tops of these trees might be lying in water as deep as 15 or 20 feet or more. This environment actually provides both deep water cover and shallow water cover for the fish, plus everything in between. So you've got water all the way up from inches deep down to maybe 15 or 20 or 30 feet deep. I like to slow roll a Jimmy Houston Legend spinnerbait or drop swim a jig all the way from the bank down into that treetop. So all the way from the very shallow where your bait hits the water all the way down. You're going to drop swim a jig, or you're going to slow roll a spinnerbait. Throw it out there and let it fall, barely wind, barely bind, barely wind, where you can work that spinnerbait or jig all the way down to that treetop. Often this takes a really long cast to do it. We cannot see the tops ends of those trees, but we know they're there. It's obvious. We see the tree, so we know the top is way down there at the other end of that tree. The tree was up, falling into the steep bank. We know it's down there, and that's where the biggest amount of cover is, down in that 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 feet of water. Steep banks. Many people, in fact most, who looked Jesus in the eye and heard him speak, didn't believe him. They didn't believe him. He told them point blank he was the Son of God. They didn't believe him. They missed the obvious. What a mystery that is to me. What a mystery it is to most believers today. But how glorious it will be when you and I come face to face with the one who saved us. The God who came to earth to die on a cross, to shed his blood, let it drop to the ground, to pay for your sins, to pay for my sins. Hung on that cross till he died, laid in a grave, in a cave. Walked out of that grave 3 days later, walked out of that grave alive to prove that you and I do the same thing. To prove that death will never hold us, to prove that the grave will never hold us, to prove that we'll go to heaven and be there forever with the one who saved us, the one we're going to look eye to eye to one glorious day. Guys and girls, this is really, really, really important. We believe without seeing him, and he's telling us that because of that, we are truly, truly blessed. Our tip for today, an outgoing tide. That's right, an outgoing tide usually produces clearer and better fishing water. The outgoing tide, when it's dropping, clears that water up. As it moves, it filtrates through the grass and stuff, clears the water up, and it usually produces better fishing. The very best fishing on the very lowest tide possible. It doesn't stay down very long. Goes down, drops down, it's going to start rising back up. outgoing tide and the very low tide, that's the time to whack them. If you're just going to fish a couple hours out there on a tidal river, watch those tides. I know most of you that live around tidal rivers do. Watch those tides. Fish the outgoing tide, and when it's the very lowest, that's when you're going to get the most bites. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. Remember, I sure do love you.